Hello the internet, welcome back. I want to talk a little bit about the Clone Factory today because with the Renewa patch, it has been updated and there is a lot of new characters and apostles you guys can farm. So I want to talk about the priority on what units are the best ones to be grinding. So we'll go over priority, good units, and the ones that you only farm if you like them because they are good waifus, and that's about it. Now, two important things. First, waifu over meta. If you don't care about meta and you're just a collector, grind for whatever characters you like to prepare for their journeys or to already unlock the journeys if they have it available. Second thing, if you do care about meta, however, you should only grind for characters you are gonna be using. It doesn't matter how good Nair is if you don't plan on using her. Right? If you don't use Nair but you farm grind her, it's wasted the star candy versus someone you are going to be using. And then the last thing is that in order to get the cheaper clone factory, you can get these and the cost will be reduced from 20 to 10 per stage, meaning you only quote unquote will use 80 star candy per day to grind your clone factory. That's obviously if you're a spender only, if you're free to play, completely ignore that part, right? Now, that said, I'm going to be going a little bit over all of the characters that I personally would recommend right now. I probably will start with just the waifu category, those characters that they are not bad, they are decent characters and you can grind them if you like them, but most of the time you are not really going to be prioritizing them in Clone Factory. Okay, this is a lot of star candy, we're talking about long term. And in this category, for compose, we have Trickcal and Jade, both of them. I will say Trickcal is a lot better than Jade when it comes to like actually damage and raids, but there is way too many characters for the compose team that are good. Now, why Trickcal over Jade? She's hotter, okay? That's it. She's way cuter, at least to me, so what can I say? I am a simp for Trickcal. I don't like Jade that much. When it comes to the press characters, Posher is gonna be coming here. Now, Posher does have a journey, so you could be grinding for her if you like her, but her journey is not an improvement that it's worth wasting so much star candy on her to actually go for it. It's an improvement on the character. It increases and it makes her better for PvP for the extra mutated target, right, on her signature skill. But when it comes to, grinding on Clone Factory, I would not really recommend it. For green girls, I'm gonna be putting both Gavia and Sylphy in here. Gavia, you could say, is a decent character, so you could be going for like one copy, right? Like grind one copy and out. In fact, we could be making a new category here, and let's just call it one copy. And this is like characters you should only grind one and out. You do not need to be going or more, right? Like you only grab the base copy if you don't have them, and that's it. And it's only if it's your main personality. If it's not your main personality, you don't even need to be getting them. The first one is gonna be Gavia, the other one is gonna be Posher. Great characters, you can use them, but more than one copy is not necessary. You could justify putting Trickcal in this category as well, but I don't think it's necessary. When it comes to Ifrit, at the moment it's not a great character. Hopefully when she gets a journey, it's more viable, but right now sadly it's not that great, even though her skin is actually pretty cute and I like it a lot. The skin is 10 out of 10, bro. It's golden, so Ifrit goes there as well. When it comes to yellow girls, aka Vivacious, there are a couple we could consider putting in here, but I'm only gonna be putting Kana in the waifu category. Kana is a character that at the moment finds almost no use for any PvE content. Now, she can be used as the 6th character, because for those of you who don't know, at the moment there is one spot still left for Vivacious. If we go into Vivacious right now, you have your Momo, you have your Epica, your Ui, you have your Epica, your Butter, and then you will have one of two tanks, either Salen or Rude. Doesn't matter which one you like, whatever you like the most, both are great, right? And then you have one more spot. An option is Chopin, but she kills herself quite often. An option is Rufo with her journey. An option would be Kana on the backline, but they are not great options. It's simply you need one more character, right? So you use whatever you have. So that's why I would not really recommend going for her. And on the same category, both Rude and Selene would also be in this category of one copy. They are characters that they are decent tanks. When there was nothing else, they were good, right? Because there was nothing else on release, so we were using Rude and she was doing her job. But then we got the Journey for Selene, which increases her combat power quite a lot, but it's way too much investment for not a huge improvement. Like, there is not a huge improvement unless we're talking about physical enemies where Rude is going to be better, right? But there's not a huge improvement, so they are both a copy and out. And then the last character that I want to put on one copy, even though I think it's better than the others, it's Amelia. But at the same time, Amelia is a character that you don't need to be going for more than one copy. Like, a copy is more than enough. She is a staple currently on composed teams. If we're talking about compose, you will have your tank, you will have your DPSs, you will have your healer, and then you have two more spots you can, you know, fill with an extra support that will have good synergy with Elena while still having great utility and some nice damage. And then a last spot you can go with an extra healer, an extra damage dealer, an extra single target damage dealer, an extra tank if you wanted to run both of them, etc. But at this point, Amelia is still a staple character, so I will suggest grabbing a copy if you can. And now we go into the characters that I'm going to be actually recommending into good and priority. I think we're going to start with the Snorky and Risty. I'm going to put Risty in one copy. So Risty is a unit that is really good as a DPS, if you guys saw my previous video on her. If you get her A2, it's a great DPS, but the amount of investment it requires for that to work is too much. If you like her, you can go for it. You can work on her journey long term. It is viable. But the next week we are getting Shion journey. Most likely this will impact the rating that Risty currently has on the tier list whenever we actually get Shion in 6 days, right? So I will say only for people who really like Risty is worth going for the journey. If not, just one copy and you're good to go, right? Now we can go into good characters. One of them is going to be Diana. Diana could be going into this category of one copy and out, but she's a character that it's used on every mad team. It's the main healer, it's still the main buffer thanks to her passive, and her journey makes her an even better character because she can heal more units and provide more utility thanks to this incoming critical damage reduce for everyone that's mad, right? So it is the staple healer for this team. It will remain so for a long time until we get other supports in the future. But I would recommend, if your team is mad, you grind her journey. The other character I want to put on here is going to be actually Snorky. Snorky is too much. Snorky is a great tank. It's a fantastic character for Elias Frontier and for Dimensional class. It's a great character for PvP, but it's not mandatory for the Press team. The Press has so many good units at the moment that you can be a lot more flexible on what units you use. And we're getting 2 more journeys next week, both Shion and Rim as well, right? So if you like her design, she's a great unit. She should not be your only tank unless it's PvP, but for PvE you need a second tank. She is not your main tank. She will help a lot on enemies if you want to be building teams that are physical damage, because she has physical defense threat, and that makes her also have more value than other characters. And why I'm putting her on good, even on the previous Elias Frontier, a lot of people were using her, right? And then the last 2 characters that I think is, you know, nobody's surprised, I'm only putting on priority, are going to be both Nair and Kiarot. We're gonna start with Kiarot, the best SP battery in the game, on her own, and with her card even better. She can be used on any green team, and she can be used on any raid team composition for the extra SP she will be providing. Really good unit. And the other one that I could also recommend for people who are building format teams is gonna be Nair. Nair is a unit that will make sure your frontline stays alive while providing a lot of buffs for everyone in your team. And by staying alive, I mean like cheating death, thanks to her kit. Her journey is pretty good, makes her even better. At the moment, it's one of my favorite characters to be running for raids. Both of them, honestly. I usually put both Kiarot and Nair for Elias Frontier, and it's been working really well. So I will say those 2 are the priority currently. And then you have the good units. Again, you could be putting Risty and Amelia in here into good units and it would work fine. And then all of the characters in one copy, you could put them in Waifu and it would also work, okay? Like, it heavily depends on what you guys want to do, what personalities you are building, and what is your main team. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you are grinding characters you are not gonna be using, it's wasting star counting. To me, I'm probably gonna be farming for now either Trickcal because I want more dupes, or my Gavia because I already have most of these characters ready, or have them with their journeys, or have enough shards, you know, that I don't need to worry too much for now as to what we're getting. I could be going for Amelia to prepare for her journey, but it's only 30 more, which I could buy, so I'm fine. Don't do as I do, do as I say, as usual, no? So that's the priority currently. You guys have the guide with a little bit more explanation on the website right here, Clone Factory priority. I also updated the Spenders guide, the Yggdrasil dig site themes, and the reroll guide has been also updated to include more information and new characters on the priority itself to reroll. That said, that's everything for this video. As usual, we are live every single day. Good luck with your pool dinner, and I'll see you on the next one.